Welcome back, my friends. Today I'm going to be sharing with you what I feel is the world's best watering can and a hack that I came up with to make it even better. I love this can so much, in fact, that I bought 2 of them. So this is the Barron's galvanized steel high capacity watering can, and it's not just the fact that it has that classic vintage look. It's a good looking watering can that makes me like it so much. It's the functionality of this can. Being that it is galvanized, it's protected. So it's both weather resistant and rust resistant if you take care of it. And I'm going to share with you a tip on how to prolong the life of the can, hopefully get a lifetime of use out of it. I also love that it has a nice large rose head here, as well as a nice large wide opening on top for quick filling, especially if you're dipping your can into a watering reservoir, which is my favorite way to fill my cans. It's quick, it's easy. So galvanizing is a protective coating, and the way it's usually applied with steel and with iron is they dip it into a hot bath of molten zinc. And that's exactly what they did with this watering can. They dipped the entire thing into a bath of hot zinc. And because they dipped the whole can, the rose head here is kind of stuck on there. It's actually not even meant to be removed, but I find that kind of silly, as do some of the other reviewers of this product online. But I found that one of my cans, it easily screwed off. This one's on there a little bit tight. But I'm going to grab a pair of channel locks and I'm going to break this loose. And that's because I am going to hack this watering can and make it even better, in my opinion. All right, so what I'm going to do using my channel locks or tongue and groove pliers is I'm just going to get a good grip there around the threads without bending it, and see if we can loosen this up. Well, that was easy. And now that we've removed it, we can also screw it back on. So no issues there. So why is it a benefit that we can remove the rose head from the spout of the watering can anyway? Well, smaller particulate can get stuck and the drainage holes there, clogging things up, so being able to take that off just makes it a whole heck of a lot easier to clean. Now, as you see, the watering can has a nice gentle stream on it, and this would be great for seedlings, smaller plants, but honestly it's a bit too slow for my liking, as I prefer to water most of my thirsty mature plants with a watering can as well. But here in the greenhouse is a scenario where that lighter stream could come in handy watering some of these younger plants that are still in the containers. Although my preferred method for watering these type of plants is a much smaller house plant watering can. It's just cleaner overall. It's kind of awkward to maneuver a larger can like this to water all the seedlings, and I'd have water kind of going everywhere as well. So what I'm going to do is actually make these holes on this rose head larger. So let's remove that from the can here for a moment. So to perform this task, I'm going to be using a 1/8 inch metal drill bit. And using light pressure, I'm going to bore out each one of these holes a little bit larger as to not dent in this thin metal piece on the rose head. There we go. All right, so here's the thing. Since we've drilled through the metal and the galvanizing coating, we now need to protect this once again. Otherwise, some rust could form in those holes, but that's easy enough to do. Using a cold spray galvanizing coating, like this product here by Crown, we're just gonna shake the can up really well and give this a coating. Make sure we get into the holes there. So we'll allow this to dry, then I'll flip it over and give it a few shots from the inside as well, just to make sure we get the inside of all those holes coated nicely. But this stuff is great to have on hand, whether you've got a galvanized watering can or an uncoated watering can. You could spray it down with this and help to protect it as well. And if you do end up banging up your galvanized can, or you notice there's a little spot that's kind of rubbed off, you can quickly give it a little shot of this and protect it once again to prevent any future rust and corrosion. But this will work to protect all sorts of different metallic, steel, and iron surfaces. There's a lot of folks these days using the corrugated galvanized steel panel raised beds. So this would be another way to touch up any dents or scratches you may get on those beds and increase the longevity. And once you do reinstall the rose head on the can, you might want to give a couple shots right around the threads where we use the tongue and groove pliers to remove it initially. So let's now check out the difference in the water stream and the pour time. Oh yeah, that is much more preferable. This really mimics a natural rain event. And I'm going to be able to cycle through the water in this can much quicker and cover a much larger area in the garden faster than I could with the other version. Really a beautiful stream of water now, in my opinion. And to fill my watering cans, my favorite technique is to dip it in a vessel of water, like a garbage can or rain barrel, because you can fill it up in just a second. I don't have to stoop over, I don't have to turn the hose on and off and wait for it to fill. And as an added benefit, I can treat my city tap water that contains chloramines and chlorine with a little bit of vitamin C crystals, ascorbic acid, which will neutralize the chlorine and chloramines, so I'm not adding that into my garden soil. I can also add into my vessel some soluble nutrient, whether it's fish emulsion or liquid kelp are two of my favorites. With a capacity of 2.5 gallons, I can really cover a lot of ground and water a lot of plants with just one fill-up. Although they do make this can in a 2-gallon version, as well as a 3-gallon version, but the 3-gallon is twice the price as the 2.5 gallons, so I went with the 2.5. And here's a size comparison for you of a 2-gallon can versus the 2.5 gallon. This is just a cheap plastic can you can pick up at a lot of the big box stores, and these cans will do the trick. But I found that the seams where they plastic weld these together can sometimes begin to leak, so I've got a piece of black Gorilla Tape covering up a hole there. So I've got to say, guys, this can takes the cake for me. I'm extremely happy with it. Thought I'd share it with you. And I did drop a link down below this video in the description box if you're interested in learning more, if you want to pick one up for yourself. So with that, I want to thank you all for watching. Have yourself a great rest of the day. Until next time, this is Dan from plantabundance.com. Take care. I'll be talking to you again soon.